Hey, Dad, are you there? Can you please get back to me when you get this message? Thank you.
Oh, hey, Rachel, what's up? Is everything okay?
It's Mom. She passed out. I don't know what's happened to her.
Wait, what? You mean your mom just fainted just like that? Is she sick or something?
I don't know. I don't think she's sick. But she hasn't been getting enough rest. She's been working too hard.
Working too hard? What do you mean by that? What's going on?
Even just a couple of days ago, Mom was taking a bath and was having trouble even standing up after that. After we got her out of the bath, she had to sit against the wall just to rest in order to be able to stand up.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Did you call an ambulance or take her to the doctor or something?
Yeah, I'm actually at the hospital with Mom right now, but the doctors say that we can go back home tomorrow.
I see. Well, I guess that means that they're not worried about her dying. What hospital are you at right now? I'll go over and check in on your mom too.
I'm sorry, Dad, but the visiting hours are already over for the day, so I don't think they will let you in even if you did come over here.
I get that the visiting hours might be over, but surely you can tell me the name of the hospital. I'm worried about your mom, and I like to be able to keep tabs on her if she's like this.
But the whole reason that she passed out was because of you, so I don't think that I should let you see her.
What do you mean it was my fault that your mom passed out?
Well, the only reason why I messaged you in the first place was because I had something that I wanted to say to you. You see, the money that you've been sending us every month just isn't enough, and that's why Mom has been having to work so hard. She hasn't been able to take any breaks at all, and now this has happened to her.
Is your mom the one saying that I'm not sending enough money every month? Because I think that I'm already sending you both quite a bit, if you ask me.
You really just don't understand how expensive raising a family is now that you're divorced, do you? Because it certainly takes a lot more than you're giving us.
I'm really sorry, Rachel. I had no idea that I was putting you all in such a position.
Well, you really need to try and think about others, you know. I mean, did you really think that we would be able to survive on what you were giving us? This is the whole reason why Mom and I ran away from you in the first place.
I really don't even know how to respond to that at all, Rachel. Besides, you guys just disappeared one day. It was like when I woke up and you both were just gone.
You just didn't notice us leave because you never cared about us at all. And you still don't care about us, which is why you give us so little money.
Honey, you don't actually think that I don't care about you and your mom, right? I know that we don't part this time, but I still really do wish that we could be a family again.
Well, we don't want to go back to living with you, don't you get that? You were the one that drove us away in the first place.
I don't understand what's gotten into you. Are you going through puberty or something? You just never used to talk to me like this. What's got you so upset?
What's got me so upset? How about the fact that my mom is in the hospital because you drove her to this point? I am just so disappointed in you, Dad.
But, I mean, I had no idea that you two were struggling that much. I'm really, really sorry for not noticing faster. But if it really is about the money, then I can send money next month.
But you would have never sent us more money if I hadn't told you about what you were doing to Mom. You're a failure as a husband, and you're a failure as a father. No matter what happens, I'm glad that Mom and I decided not to live with you anymore.
Rachel, please don't say that. Maybe the three of us could try and do something fun over the weekend. How about the aquarium? Do you think you and your mom would like to do that with me?
Do you think I'm in middle school or something? Why do you think I would want to waste my time at the aquarium, and with you, no less? I don't even want to be seen in public with you.
How could you say that about your own father?
Look, if you want to give Mom and I the money to go and do that on our own, then go ahead and send the money. But I don't want to go out with you. You should just stop talking to us and only send us money. It's all you're good for anyways. We don't need to hear your thoughts. We just need your money.
Rachel, please. I really think that you're being unfair. I'm only trying to fix the things between us all.
Are you kidding me right now?
The truth is that I never wanted you and your mom to leave me. I still want to have you both in my life.
Well, that's your problem, so sort that out on your own, Dad.
Hey, Dad. How late are you going to be at work today? I would like to meet if you think that would be okay.
Wait, what? You want to meet me? I thought that you said you didn't even want to be seen in public with me. Is everything okay? Is this some kind of emergency or something like that?
Of course it's an emergency. I really need to talk to you about something.
Oh no. Don't tell me that your mom had another accident and had to go to the hospital. I've been sending more money just like you were saying I should.
I never asked you to do any of that. Don't go putting words into my mouth.
Wait, what? But you did. You told me that your mom fell because I wasn't sending enough money.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you that I didn't talk to you at all about you sending money at all. So again, stop putting words into my mouth.
I don't get what you mean. I mean, I have those texts from your number. Are you telling me that it wasn't you sending those?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. I didn't send those messages at all.
But then, if they were coming from your number, then who was really sending them?
Well, Mom took my phone away from me a couple months ago, so if anyone was messaging you from my number before now, it was probably my mom.
You're telling me that it was your mom sending me those messages that whole time?
Yeah, she keeps hiding my phone, and I haven't touched it in a long time. But I just found out, and that's why I'm reaching out to you. I had to wait until Mom was out of the house to even do this.
So then, you're telling me that you weren't just avoiding me, but you just couldn't talk to me?
That's right. And I guess that Mom was pretending to be me this whole time. But anything that she might have told you as me until now is just a lie.
Are you really sure that it was your mom doing something like that?
Of course! I mean, do you really think that I would say the kind of things that she was saying to you? You know that I could never talk to you like that, Dad.
Well, I really did think that it was weird for you to be acting that way. But I was just thinking that you might have been stressed. Or it was a puberty thing or something like that. I'm really sorry I didn't realize it wasn't you.
Well, it's okay as long as you realize that you're talking to the real me now. And don't get tricked by anyone pretending to be me again.
I'm sorry, and I promise to try not to let it happen again. But why would your mom do something like this?
It's because she wants money. I have to tell you all about what Mom has been up to for the past year, but you're not going to like it.
Okay, well, this sounds like something we should talk about in person. I finish work at 6. Can you meet me then?
Yeah, I should be free by 6. I'll be finishing up with my club at school.
Okay then, I'll see you then. I'll go and pick you up at school, so wait for me there after your club.
Hey, Dad, what is the matter with you? What do you think you're doing?
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about, Rachel.
You do realize that you still haven't sent us any money at all for the month, right? Why are you always trying to get out of giving Mom money?
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say to that.
Well, you do realize that it's all your fault that Mom ended up in the hospital that last time, right? Are you trying to make that happen again? You know, this is why Mom and I hate you so much. You're always putting yourself before us, and you're even willing to hurt Mom.
And you think that either of you were ever going to see a cent from me again?
Excuse me? How could you say that? You're just horrible. You won't even listen to your own daughter anymore?
Daughter? What are you talking about? My daughter's sitting next to me right now. In fact, you should know that she's reading all these texts as well. I know that it's you, Vanessa. So do you care to explain to me just why it is you're impersonating your own daughter?
Wait, what? I don't understand. What's going on here?
That's exactly what I would like to know, Vanessa. So why don't you come clean and tell me?
Well, I mean, you weren't giving me enough money, so I had to try and think of a way to make you pay me more. I thought that if I pretended to be our daughter, that you might listen to her more than you would me, and then you would send me more money.
Oh yes, Rachel has already spelled out exactly what kind of scheme you've been running. But I know that the reason you think I'm not sending you enough money is because you're always spending it shopping. And buying booze and going to the casino and so many other wasteful ways.
No, that's right, not right. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not true. It's really not like that at all.
Oh, come on. I've been paying you $1,000 a month and you've just been using it to have fun. Rachel tells me that you won't even buy her new clothes. She told me she has to buy her clothes used, using money from her part-time job. I pay you money every month so that you can take care of our daughter and get her what she needs.
How dare you talk to me like that? You really think that you know what my daughter needs better than I do?
All I'm saying is that you pretend to be our daughter and try to scam me out of my money.
But I'm telling you that I didn't have a choice. You have no idea how stressful it is being a single mother. I never ever have any time for fun.
You know that we're not even officially divorced yet, right? Besides, you've been using this money all for yourself this whole time. So how can you say that your life is hard? Especially when you're neglecting our daughter like this. Do you know that Rachel wants to come back to me, right?
No, she can't do that. I won't let her go. You can't do this to me.
What do you mean? You did this to yourself when you left me. Were you really so unhappy with me?
Of course I was unhappy with you. You never did anything for us.
Oh, really? Because Rachel doesn't seem to agree with you at all about that. And I don't agree with that either. I would also be taking her out to places on my day off. Sure, I was busy with work, I won't deny that. But I never ignored my family because of it.
She's just a girl. She doesn't know what she's talking about at all.
Oh, really? So even though your own daughter is saying all this, you're still not going to believe her? And what about what she says about you? How you hardly spend any time at home. How you barely give her enough money to buy enough food for herself. I really can't blame Rachel for wanting to get as far from you as possible. How about before you start insulting my parenting skills, you work on your own?
You have no idea how hard I work to provide for our daughter. You don't know anything.
Oh, really? Because I hear that you're not even going to work anymore. So just what do you mean when you talk about how hard you're working?
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about at all. You don't know anything, so just leave me alone.
Oh, I will leave you alone. You can trust me on that one. Especially now that Rachel is back with me. I'm going to be taking care of her from now on. Do you understand me?
I told you that I'm not going to let you get away with this. I won't let you take her away from me. You'll never get Rachel from me.
Oh, please. She's her own daughter and you're not even taking care of her. All you're doing is using her so that you can extort me for money that you use for yourself. And now that I know the truth, you'll never get her back.
How dare you say that I'm using my daughter? You are such an arrogant jerk. Do you know that?
Have you already forgotten that you literally were pretending to be Rachel to literally get money from me?
But you don't get it. I really did need more money, and I just thought that if I pretended to be her, that it would be the best way to do things.
I don't really care what you have to say for yourself. It doesn't change the fact that you were using her. Not only that, but you used the money that I thought I was giving at Rachel's behest all for yourself.
But you were the one saying that you wish we were still together. You were telling me that you wish we could all live together again.
Oh, trust me, I don't feel that way at all anymore. Now that I know I wasn't even saying that to Rachel, you can forget about that.
Well, I'm not going to divorce you, and I'm not going to hand over Rachel, so there.
Why do you even want Rachel? All you want to do with your life is shop, drink, and gamble. Do you really think that it's going to be difficult to convince a judge to give me custody at this point?
I thought I told you that you don't know what you're talking about. Rachel was lying to you. I know how to spend my money.
And why would Rachel even want to lie to me about that?
Because she's going through puberty. You know how teenagers are.
You know, I remember when I went through puberty when I was a teenager, and I don't know how I would handle having a mom like you.
A mom like me? And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
I mean a con artist like you. You're the one who doesn't even know how to spend your money well, but you sure know how to trick people into paying you. I knew that I was already giving you plenty of money, and I knew there was no way it wasn't enough.
But it really wasn't enough. I was being honest when I said that to you. I really am working hard, and I just can't make it with the amount that you're giving me.
Okay then, if that's really true, then how about you tell me just what you were spending that money on every month?
Well, it's not like I'm keeping all my receipts or a careful budget or anything like that, so I can't tell you exactly what I spent it on.
Okay then. How about you tell me how it is that money I'm giving you isn't enough?
It isn't enough because I say that it isn't enough. I'm the one spending it all, so I should know.
If you can't even answer that question for me, then I don't know how I'm going to have this conversation with you. And if that's all you have to say, then Rachel's going to stay here with me. Also, I would hire a lawyer if I were you, because I'm going to be hiring one to move the divorce forward. Do you understand?
Please, don't do that. You can't do this to me. If you're really going to go through with this, then I'm going to call the police. Do you hear me?
What are you gonna sue me for? We aren't divorced, and you don't have custody over Rachel. Why would the police arrest a father for taking his daughter in because she didn't want to stay with you? And you know what I think? I bet the police would agree with me that it's better for our daughter to stay with her preferred parent.
Hey, Mom, it's me, Rachel. I really do want to stay with Dad.
But I don't understand. Where is this coming from? Since when did you want to live with your dad? You really don't want to live with me anymore?
Mom, I really just can't see my life going in a good direction if I stayed there with you. And I just know that Dad is going to take better care of me than you are.
What? What do you mean? Are you really going to just forget about all the things that I've done for you? You ungrateful little ingrate.
Mom, what are you talking about? What have you ever done for me? I mean, I'm not saying that you haven't ever put any time into raising me, but I think the times that you've just caused me trouble has been way more frequent.
What are you talking about? Think of all the ways that we've had to get over hardships together.
Mom, please, you know that neither of us would have been able to make it this far if it wasn't for Dad's money. Especially since you never ever do any work, and you just spend all our money. You never cook for me, and you barely even give me enough money for food. Do you know how many days I had to rely on school lunches for my meals?
Oh, what are you talking about? We have plenty of food in the fridge.
Literally, half the foods in the fridge are rotten because you barely ever go and buy food. It's honestly not even a choice for me when it comes to choosing between you and Dad. Did you know that I don't even tell my friends about you because I'm so embarrassed about the kind of person you are? But now I finally managed to get away from you, and I won't ever have to put up with you again. So just sign the divorce papers and go live your life without me. It's what you've been doing this whole time anyways.
Wait, no, honey, please. Don't do this to me. I'm going to be in serious trouble if you leave me. Please, Harold, Rachel, somebody answer me.
After that, Vanessa tried to fight the process, but in the end she signed the papers and I was able to take full custody of Rachel. There were times where I wanted to give up, but anytime I did, I thought of Rachel and knew that I couldn't let her down. Because Rachel did have to come and live with me, however. She had to move schools, but she was more than happy to leave since her mother-induced poverty made her a target of bullies. After moving schools, I heard that Vanessa was seen in the streets publicly drinking, calling out for Rachel to come back. That was the last we heard of her since Rachel and I decided to move to a new town to get away from Vanessa entirely. I know that this transition is going to bring a lot of changes to both mine and Rachel's lives, but right now, she's my number one priority. I had no idea what she was going through while she was living with her mom, and I am not going to make that mistake again. I won't lose my daughter ever again. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey Sandra, are you there? I just want to let you know that I told my mom the dates that we figured out for our wedding. And I showed her some of the pictures that we took when we went out to check out the venue.
Oh, okay, good to know. What did your mom think? Did she have anything to say?
Oh, you know how she is always. She just said that's nice and continued about her business.
I see. So basically we got nothing from that. Are you sure your mom approves of us getting married?
Sure she does. I mean, I know that if you think about it, I am pretty sure my mom is okay with this. Or at the very least, even if she isn't thrilled about it, I don't think that she's against it or anything, especially since before, she was always bugging me about when I'd get married. So I don't actually think she'd complain to me now that I actually am.
Guess so, but I certainly get the impression that I'm not the kind of person she imagined marrying you.
I know that you think that, but what is it that you think my mom doesn't like about you?
I think it's because my family came from the country, and I guess your mom might think that I'm a hick or something like that.
I mean, you could be right about that, but I don't see anything wrong with that, and I actually really like your family. Both of your parents have been so nice and welcoming to me, and I'm really grateful for it. The only one to be complaining about any of this at all is my mom.
Oh, well, I really am glad that you like my parents that much. I know that both my parents are big fans of you as well. And I think that my family has plenty to offer and can't just be written off for where they come from. But I just wish that there was a good way to make your mom see all of this.
Well, I can try talking to her and really explaining just how good your family really is. But just know that no matter what she says, I'm still marrying you.
And that makes me really, really happy to have you say that, but I still wish that your mom wouldn't act like this. I mean, I'm about to marry her son, and it feels like she doesn't want me to.
I understand where you're coming from, but I think we need to give my mom time to get to know you better. Then she'll see how good you are for me and what a good couple we are. I know that she'll come around, so just be patient and focus on the wedding for now. You know, I still feel so lucky to have you in my life, Sandra. I mean, I really can't think of anyone else who I'd like to spend my life with. Not only that, but you really are just so beautiful. I could just spend all day staring into your big, gorgeous eyes.
What is all this about? Do you really like looking at me that much, Anthony?
Of course I do. I love you, and I really like your family as well. I've enjoyed the times that we've spent to visit with your parents. They are always eating the freshest foods straight from their garden and even send us home with some stuff. I mean, what could there even be to dislike about that? Especially when the quality of the food that they're giving us is the kind that we'd have to shell out extra for in a normal grocery store.
I have to say that I was pretty surprised by just how much you seemed to like being out there. But only in a good way. I was just happy that you weren't judging my family at all. After all, your mom isn't the only person to look down on me for where my family is from.
Well, I don't think that way in the slightest, but it is true that I don't have a single relative that lives the way that your parents do. So maybe that's why ever since I was little, I've dreamed about living on a big farm or ranch, just to be able to escape the hustle and bustle and noise of the city. When you come home, sound is so nice. But my mom is just the opposite. I think that back in her day, kids from the farm were bullied and looked down on more than our generation.
Well, you know that it's not all beautiful sunsets and fresh produce, right? I mean, out there, there's also lots of bugs and pests, and there's hardly anything to do in town, too.
I know, but it's not like you're bringing any of those negatives from the countryside with you when you visit my mom. But also, your brother is taking over the family farm anyways, right? Not only that, but your parents also said that when they retired, they were going to settle into a retirement home. Isn't that right?
That's what they said. They have a decent amount saved up over the years and said they didn't want to be a burden on us kids.
And I've tried explaining all that to my mom as well, but no matter how many times I try to tell her, she just doesn't seem to get it.
Well, I don't think that your mom's dislike for the country comes from any real logic or good reason. I think maybe she was just raised a different way and hasn't gotten over her biases.
I guess, but I think that we should let her get away with that just because she's older. But also at this point, I just hope that she won't make any trouble for us in the future. Especially considering that my mom is basically only going to have her pension to live off. So when she finally settles down, I think that the duty of taking care of her is going to fall on me. I mean, of course I have my sister as well, but as the eldest child, I think it'll mostly be my job.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. But that would mean that I would also be taking care of her, right?
I mean, I certainly wouldn't hope that you would leave me to do it all by myself, but yes, I think that's the situation.
Of course not. I'd love to help out in any way that I can. I just hope that your mom and I can become closer before that happens.
Well, thanks again so much for talking to me about this. I'll think of what I can try to say to Mom, but I just don't know what to do these days.
I understand, but the most important thing for me right now is trying to become closer to her. I mean, I know that we'll all have a long time to do so since you and I are getting married, but still.
I know what you mean, and I really am sorry that this is even an issue in the first place, but I just hope that Mom actually liked the venue I showed her. I told her about how the catering company we were looking at had some of her favorite dishes, but she just gave me the same stoic response.
Yeah, that woman really is inscrutable, but hopefully with time we can see more eye to eye.
Hey there, Sandra. I just wanted to let you know that I tried talking to my mom.
Oh no, it doesn't sound like you're about to tell me very good news.
Well, it's actually about the day of the wedding. My mom wants me to go and pick up my grandparents and bring them here.
Wait, what? I thought you said that your sister was going to be doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was supposed to, but I guess that her car broke down the other day, and it won't be repaired in time before the wedding.
Oh no, that really sucks. Tell her that I'm sorry that that happened, but I still don't get why you would have to go. I mean, it's literally your wedding day, and it's probably best if we just stick close to the venue, don't you think? Besides, will you even have the time to be able to go and get them?
Well, my mom was saying that the groom really doesn't have all that much of a role in the wedding until the very end, so I guess she really wants me to go and get my grandparents.
I can understand that, but it doesn't mean that there aren't things that you need to do to get ready for when I walk down the aisle. And what happens if you get caught in traffic while you're out? What would we do then?
I've been thinking about that as well, but my mom really insistent about this. She really said that she wanted me to spend more time with my grandparents and that I should be trying to make good final memories with them.
I mean, it's not that I don't respect the sentiment or anything, but shouldn't there be other memories that you try and make on the day of your wedding?
Sandra, you and I are absolutely on the same side with all of this, but I just couldn't turn down my mom. She just kept asking me over and over again.
I see. Well, I guess it sounds like you're going to pick up your grandparents then.
I really did try and tell my mom that it wouldn't work. I told her that I'd be too busy to do that, and then my mom told me that I was being ungrateful for all the good things that my grandparents did for me. She kept getting more angry and upset with me, and she kept making me feel bad about not doing it, that eventually I just folded.
Oh, wow. I'm really sorry to hear that, Anthony. I hope she wasn't too upset with you.
I mean, it had been a while since I saw her get worked up like that, I think. But man, it was more annoying than anything. It's that she refuses to accept that I'm an adult with my own life and responsibilities now. But I didn't want to tell her now and have her in a sour mood on the day of our wedding either. So anyways, I'm just sorry about all of this.
You don't have anything to apologize for. I mean, none of this is your fault anyways. And besides, you're right about it being a good idea to try and make sure your mom is happy the day of our wedding.
I just want the wedding to go smoothly and as little drama as possible. It's too important a day to let these petty gripes ruin it. But I just don't get it. I mean, I'm still living at home with her. So why are we going to the wedding separately in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I'm sure that your mom has her reasons, and it's not like you don't have two cars, so I guess it doesn't not make sense. But just please try and be quick about getting your grandparents and coming back, okay?
Of course, I would really hate for anything to delay you and I getting married. I promise that I'll do my best to not be late, okay?
And tell your parents that I'm sorry for all the rushing that they'll probably be doing on that day as well.
Well, I think that it's my mom who owes them an apology for deciding all of this, but I'm sure that it'll be fine.
I'm just glad that you guys have two cars to be dealing with all of this. I guess that means that you'll take the big car and I'll take the smaller one with your mom?
Sounds good, but I really am sorry for all this. I'm pretty upset at my mom for putting this in my lap at the last second. Our wedding should be a day where we only think of each other.
I know, but I'm sure that your mom has her reasons for this as well. And at the end of the day, it sounds like she's trying to bring the family closer together, so I can't fault that.
You really are too kind. Do you know that, Sandra? You don't deserve to have your wedding day messed up like this either. But man, my mom can get a bit scary when she gets angry about stuff like this.
It's okay. I think I've gotten used to the idea of her acting like this for now. Hello there, Anthony. I don't know if you've heard, but your wedding is cancelled.
Mom, what are you talking about? What do you mean my wedding is canceled?
I know that Sandra isn't going to be showing up to the wedding. You see, she was in a car accident and now she can't even move. So I'm afraid that you two will just have to cancel your wedding, but how about we go out for a family lunch instead?
Hold on a second. Just what do you think you're doing, messaging me on a day like this? Who do you think you are?
Who do you think I am? I think that I'm your mother, so how about that?
Oh, really? Because I don't think of you as a mother at all. So how about that?
What in the world are you talking about, Anthony? What has gotten into you?
I mean, that I know that you messed with the car that Sandra was going to take. And anyone who would do that to my wife is no family member of mine.
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Oh, come on. I know that you sabotaged the car that Sandra took. She even told me that. You said you'd just take a taxi to the venue at the last second. And now you pretend like nothing has happened? You just want to go out for a family lunch? Are you that opposed to me getting married?
Anthony, I'm sorry, but I really have no idea what's gotten into you or why you're so upset right now.
Oh, just give it a rest, Mom. I know that it was you that did it. Just be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, and I am telling you that I have no idea what you're talking about. Why should I be against you marrying Sandra? Oh, wait, that's right. It's because I know what's best for you, and I can tell you that it certainly isn't her.
Aha. So you do admit that you really are against us getting married, but you really don't know what you're talking about, because I'm the one that doesn't deserve Sandra. And the only person in our whole family who has a problem with her is you. But even so, I didn't think that you'd go so far as to try to sabotage a car that Sandra would drive on the street. You caused this accident.
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. How can you accuse me of causing the accident? I wasn't the one behind the wheel. Do you have any proof of what you're saying? Hello there. I bet you weren't expecting to hear from me, Sandra. And yes, if you must know, I have plenty of evidence. I even have someone that you confessed thinking of this plan to. Wait, Sandra? How can this be? What's going on? You made it to the wedding? I had to call a taxi, but yes, I made it to my own wedding despite your best attempts to stop me. As for you, well, I think you can probably already imagine the kind of car trouble I was having before it stopped moving. But you do realize that you've committed a crime, right? Neither of you know what you're talking about at all. It wasn't like that. I didn't do anything. Look, I get that you really, really don't like me, but you didn't have to take things this far. Shut up! You don't get to tell me what to do! You think that a country hick like you can just waltz into my family? And just what about where I come from upsets you so much? How does my coming from the country even affect you? It affects me because I know that you joining my family means that your lousy hick parents are going to try and steal everything. You are literally the only person saying any of these things about my parents. I mean, even Anthony's grandparents say that they really like me and don't care at all about my background. Well, I don't care. I don't want a lousy daughter-in-law like you, got it? Besides, I know for a fact that my daughter hates you. No, you're not right about that either. Anthony's sister is actually completely supportive. Well, that can't be right. She talks bad about you all the time. She says that she can't stand the idea of you becoming her sister-in-law. Oh, she may have thought that, but that was only because you were giving her faulty information. But Anthony and I have made sure to clear up any misunderstandings you might have been causing. It was your sister, wasn't it? She was the one who told you about what I did to the car, didn't she?
That's right. Actually, she arrived about the same time that Sandra did to the wedding venue. She showed her some of the texts that you've been sending, talking about all your plans.
I don't believe it. Betrayed by my own child. I really thought that I could trust her with that.
Come on, did you really think that anyone would be okay with a plan like this? If you actually thought that anyone would back up this horrible behavior that you've been exhibiting, then that's on you. In fact, you complain so much about Sandra, but the fact is, you've never given her a fair chance.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. Can't you see that she's just fooling you? She doesn't have your best interests at heart. You don't know anything at all. I am your mother and I know best.
No, Mom. You're the one who's completely clueless about everything, and you certainly don't know what you're talking about when it comes to Sandra. All you do is focus on the fact that her family lives out in the country. But if anyone should be embarrassed about their families, then I'm the one that should be embarrassed to be related to you.
Anthony, how could you say that to your own mother? What is the matter with you?
I'm only telling you how I really feel. I mean, what if Sandra had seriously been injured? Thankfully, there wasn't any real accident. Sandra realized her car wasn't performing well, put on her hazards, and pulled over right away. But if she hadn't thought on her feet so quickly, she could have ended up hurt or dead. Is that what you wanted to happen to the woman I want to marry?
Of course not. That's not what I wanted to happen at all. I didn't know what might happen.
But that's just another lie. I've already seen the text, and you said that you don't care at all what happens to Sandra. You're nothing but a liar and a criminal, Mom.
But Sandra's safe, isn't she? I don't see what the big deal is if nothing actually happened to her.
If you think that you're going to get away with that just because Sandra wasn't hurt, you're dead wrong. I am never ever going to forgive you for this. Do you understand?
Please, son, I really don't think there's any need to be so upset with me. I mean, you just got married. A newlywed husband shouldn't have anything to be mad about. Oh, can't we just forgive each other in the spirit of the day?
Oh, I don't think you need to worry about our wedding day anymore. After all, you won't be participating, even though you would have been here as my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law? Wait a second, is this Sandra?
That's right. Now about that little trap you tried to set for me. Well, I just have to say, I was shocked when I pieced it all together.
What do you mean? What's going on? What did you mean about me not participating in the wedding?
We talked to all the guests at the wedding here, and we agreed that it's best if you don't come. Even Anthony's grandparents agreed on that, so we're not going to let you show up, even if you do come. We've even told the staff to turn you away if you try and get in.
What are you talking about? You can't do this to me! You can't just keep me out of my own son's wedding!
Why? You never even wanted this wedding to take place in the first place, so why should we let you participate?
Oh, come on, you can't keep me away from this! This is my own son's wedding! You can't ban me from that!
Do you think that we're going to let you into a wedding where you tried to kill the bride? In fact, you should know that Anthony is never going to talk to you again. He has nothing but shame as far as you're concerned.
But, this isn't fair. I was only trying to protect my family. I did it all for my family. How did it all come to this?
If you really can't understand why your own family wouldn't want anything to do with you after this, then maybe you really are too far gone. Because you need to understand that you tore your own family apart. I've done nothing but try to befriend you, and you literally tried to kill me. So I am really not in the mood to hear any of your victimization coming from you after this. Neither Anthony nor I are ever going to forgive you.
You can't do this to me. You're not just going to leave me like this, right? Oh, please. My family is all that I have left. Who's going to take care of me now? Hello? Are you even reading these messages? Hello? After that, Anthony's mom didn't even bother trying to come to our wedding, and thanks to her absence, we were all able to have a much, much better wedding than had she been there. If only we had thought to ban her from the wedding in the first place. Of course, Anthony was really upset about what his mother had tried to do to me, and I know it hurt him to realize the kind of person she was. A few days later, we got messages from relatives of Anthony all bearing words of encouragement and criticism for his mom. Many said they were going to keep their distance from Anthony's mother or cut her off entirely like we had done. Either way, she was left with very few relatives who were even willing to talk to her. Of course, I don't imagine that she's reflected on why what she did was wrong, but she certainly suffered for what she tried to do to me, and I do my best to not even think about her anymore. Anthony and I have been far too busy enjoying the married life. I thought this whole episode would be a good obstacle to our honeymoon phase, but if anything, the absence of Anthony's mom has only been a positive for us. We've even gotten closer with Anthony's sister, who was so sorry for believing all the lies that her mother had told her about me before discovering the truth. So I guess in the end, the only real loser was my would-be mother-in-law.